Okay, so in today's video, we're going to be covering a niche that I have talked about before, and that is the logbook niche. So you're going to want to stick around for this one. Now, if you haven't been here before, my name is Rory, and I run this channel called Mr. Rosa. And before we get into anything, can I ask you guys to smash that like and subscribe button, as it would be greatly appreciated. And as always, doesn't take you half a second to do. So let's dive into this. Now, the logbook niche, I would definitely say if you're someone that's a beginner in KDP and you want to move from lined interiors and graph paper and dot grid interiors into like more advanced niches, yet ones that are still easy to create, especially if you're not skilled in this department, I would say the logbook niche is, well, definitely one I would recommend because they're easy to create and, well, it still only requires the basics of creating like one interior and then copy and pasting it throughout. So today I'll tell you what we're going to cover. So to start off with, we're going to look at some interiors where you can buy some interiors. Then we're going to have a look at a couple of niches that I would recommend getting into, and it looks like there's some potential there. And then we're going to go over and I'll show you guys how to create these interiors using a PNG of one of these logbook interiors and then converting that into like a 120-page interior using Keynote. And you can also use PowerPoint if you're on Windows or whatever. So let's dive into it. Now, let's start off by looking at some interiors. So I'm going to be using the site Creative Fabrica. And, well, we can basically just start off by typing in Logbook Interiors and, well, having a look what comes up. And it's got a few here like this hiking log journal, which could be a possible niche. Maybe if you carry on watching this video, you might find this niche. And then inventory logbook, which I know is quite good. Recipe, visitor logbook, timesheet logbook. As you can see, there is loads and loads of different types, and that means loads of different like sub niches you can get into. Mileage logbook, photography logbook. You can create a logbook for anything basically, and there's big ones like such as medication logbooks and workout logbooks and that sort of thing, which sell very well. And also having a look through these, just typing in logbook interiors is also a great way to do some like niche research as well, because by searching up these sorts of interiors, logbook interiors, it can come up with a bunch of different niches that you may not have heard of before, like a nanny logbook journal, which may have potential, photography logbook, reading logbook, temperature logbook, and that sort of thing. And Creative Fabrica is brilliant because obviously it has pages and pages of this stuff, and it gives you basically a range of different niches you could possibly get into, and some of these are so cheap. 99 cents, 19 cents there for a logbook timesheet. Running logbook 99 cents, $2.99. These look a bit more high quality. Flight logbook, all that sort of thing. And, well, if you're wanting to buy Creative Fabrica, it would be the $29 per month for the unlimited. And what that basically means is you can download as many as you want, which I would recommend doing because it means you have options and possibilities to every sort of niche you could ever think of in KDP on Creative Fabrica. And yeah, I would recommend that for $29 per month. And obviously I'll leave it in the description below. Or you could just buy them individually, 99 cents a dollar. Cheap investments, that's all I've got to say about it really. I think there's some potential there when you look at Creative Fabrica. And, well, let's get on to a couple niches that I have found out that maybe there's some potential for you guys there. You never know. So, start off with accounting ledger. Now, as you can see, there is 1,000 results, which meets our criteria. And then let's have a look at a few of the books. So we've got one here, accounting ledger book. It looks very simple, and yet it's got BSR of 12,000. Another one here, another accounting ledger book, 100,000. Let's try and find one more. Another one here, 11,000. Another very simple one. And they're actually by the same author, so I'm sure this author is pulling in a bit of money from these. So we can have a look at this one, and, well, you saw that bestsellers badge, and it's a bestseller in financial engineering. And, well, basically it just tells me this book is doing pretty well, 835 reviews. Let's start off by having a look inside and having a look at the sort of interiors, if we're looking to create them ourselves, what kind of things we're looking to create, what kind of things we're looking for. And, well, you can see how simple this is. All it's got included here is the year, and then you put a number on the side, the date, description, account, payment, deposit, and total. Boom, that's it. Just drawn a couple of lines and basically just made this table. And all they've done is just copy and pasted it throughout the book and created this interior, which is making, well, what's the BSR? 12,000, I think it was, 12,707. So if we type that in, 12,707, 306 sales per month. And now I'm sure this author will have created them themselves. However, if they did buy it off Creative Fabrica and they're making that many sales per month, let's say we times it by 1.5, that's looking at around $450-ish. That's for the average royalty for a book. Well, for that $1 investment, it looks like that's a possibility as well, and it's looking very interesting to me. And I like this cover, and it looks like obviously they've got in early because it's very, very simple. People do also like that sort of simple stuff, and well, very well done to this author, and it looks like a good niche. We can have a look at another one here. This has 110,000. I'm not a huge fan of the cover, but it is making a few sales, and again, very, very simple interiors, and that is why I think this is perfect if you're moving from that beginner stage into that more intermediate stage and you don't want to be creating those lined notebooks. Well, these are the kind of niches you should be getting into, logbook niche, because well, it's still very, very simple, won't take up much of your time and doesn't require much skill, yet the potential for earning more money is definitely there. And I'm sure if we have a look down at this author's other ledger book, well, let's have a look at the interior. Again, very, very similar, changed a couple of the things here, and that's all. So, accounting ledger is the first one. If I was you, I'll get a pen and paper and write that down. And let's move on to the second one. And the second one is actually a hiking logbook, which, if you did see in Creative Fabrica, was the first one that came up when we searched up Logbook Interiors. And well, that's actually how I found this niche. I never would have thought of it before. However, when I typed in that and then saw hiking logbook was the first one, I thought, well, maybe there's potential there. And yes, as you can see, 925 results, and well, 2 bestsellers here already, another bestseller here, but that's not a hiking logbook. But yeah, there's a few making a lot of money. This one here, I mean, I was surprised, 1,241. I never thought a hiking logbook could be that interesting. And we can have a look inside, and yes, I will say they spend a bit more time, and I know I bore you guys by saying it every single time, but obviously quality over quantity, I would say, for books like this. If you're creating high quality stuff, unique stuff that people have not seen before, well, the potential for it to sell and make more money is definitely there. And you can have a look at this, like I said, very, very interesting. It's got just, I think it's switching between 2 different pages, so it's got one page for the hiking logbook. You put the date, the start time, end time, distance traveled, blah blah blah, all that sort of stuff, like you can see, and then just one page, a simple lined interior, which you would say to create this sort of interior is still very, very simple because you're only creating 2 pages, and again, just copy and pasting that throughout the book. And well, it's got a nice cover. I actually personally really like that sort of watermark style colour. It's definitely well, yes, from me. And you can have a look at the BSR here using the helium-10 tool. It's reached 672 before, and at the moment it has a BSR of 1,241, 1,885 sales per month. So it's looking at well over $2,000+ per month with a simple book like this using just one interior. And we can have a look at just one other logbook interior, see if it's got the same sort of thing, and it's actually by the same author again, so I'm sure it's got a very similar interior. And yes, it's exactly the same. Wow, so they've made a lot of money just from one interior, changing the cover slightly. It's still using that same watermark, the same image, in fact. And well, what more have I got to say about that hiking logbook niche? And then the last one I'm going to have a look at is diabetes logbook. Now, I have actually made a video on what I like medication and health related logbooks are interesting, and there's some potential there, and I will leave the link to that above. And yeah, there's many different types of like medication, illness logbooks you can talk about. There's ones like you can get anxiety that does quite well, stuff that you can keep a track of like blood sugar levels, that sort of thing, and diabetes is one that falls into that. So yeah, diabetes is just one that I thought in general, but there's many, many really. You've got one here, like I said, blood sugar journal, and this has a BSR of 36,000, and well, we can have a look inside it, and yes, it's like a proper book really. But once we get to the actual interior, well, you can see it's quite simple. Obviously they've done colour, which I wouldn't recommend because the royalties will go down significantly, but still, it's a good book, and we can have a look, and there's loads and loads. But I would say the best one there that I've seen is Hiking Logbook, because as well, it looks like there's only one author making big money from it at the moment. There's a couple here, so it would also suggest that, well, maybe that market is looking for a couple new authors. Maybe you could be that author that is looking for. So we're done with having a look at a couple of niches, and make sure you've got all of those written down so you can go and create your books for those. And now let's move on to creating that interior that I was talking about, that logbook interior, using a PNG of like one page that you have, and I'll explain a bit in detail now. So I'm going to go to my Gumroad store. Now, many of you may not know I have a Gumroad store, but up in my Gumroad store I have uploaded a bunch of different things for you guys to download, and everything's free. You may have seen that some of it was paid, but I've changed everything to be free now. At no cost, you can download a lined paper 3 comic book interiors, my 1000 subscriber special gift, and a few logbooks here. And now these two here, this blood pressure tracker logbook and this food journal logbook, are just PDFs. You don't get that PNG which I will have created. However, with the workout logbook, I did actually upload a PNG as well. And now I made all of these interiors in Adobe Illustrator, which some of you guys may not have, but I have it, and well, I just wanted to give these to you just in case you were interested, and just wanted a logbook interior to start out on. And now, like I said, you don't have to pay anything. However, if you do want to make a small donation to help out the channel, you can put in a fair price, say $500, let's say. I'm joking, don't be doing that. But anyway, all you have to do is, well, name a fair price. We want to get it for free. We're going to add to cart, then we're going to click checkout, get, and basically what you'll do is, well, you just get it and then you have to click download. And now, as you can see, we've got the two things that are included here. So you get the PDF, which is the already made 128 page interior, which you can just upload straight onto Amazon. But just as an example for today's video, I've added a PNG as well, which I'm just going to download, and I'll just show you guys quickly. So if I open it up, this is the PNG, this is the interior that I created. And well, what I like to do is I like to basically export my illustrations, my interiors as a PNG, and then change it into a PDF in Keynote. So let's go into Keynote and click New Document, and then click Basic White. Now this is a 6x9 inch interior, and as you can see, this is not what we want at the moment. So we got to click Edit Master Slide, then go to Document, and then go to Custom Slide Size, and then we got to work out what 6x9 inches in points is, which is 432. So 432, and what's 9? 9 is 648, so 432 by 648, 432, 648. And then as you can see, it is created. So we're just going to want to delete all of that and just click done. And now if you have a PNG, because normally what I would do with Adobe Illustrator is I would basically just highlight everything and then copy it into Keynote, but if you have a PNG, all you've got to do is click Insert, Image Gallery, and then you've got to drag your image in, which I just go to my Downloads folder and drag that in. And then if I just drag it out, it should be all right like so. And then all you've got to do is basically just drag it to size, and then just keep dragging it out and making sure it is centered as well. And if you drag it out all the way to the edges, it should be fine like that. And as you can see, we have our interior. Now if you want to change anything, you can move it left and right like so. So I might move it left a bit so it looks centered. I think that looks centered to me. And then all you've got to do with Keynote is very, very simple. You just got to highlight the page, click Command C, then Command V, and it will just paste everything down. Then you just literally hold it down until you get to 120 pages. And then boom, you've got your interior. Now I'm just going to leave it to get to 120, and then I'm going to show you the next step, which is then just going File, Export to PDF, and then Export Highest Quality. Click Next. Let's call it Workout Log Example. Click Export, creating that PDF. Then we go to our desktop, Workout Logbook Example, and boom, we have the 120 pages of our interior. So then all you've got to do, drag it into Kindle, and it is as simple as that. So this is important, like if you've downloaded stuff off Creative Fabrica and you haven't got Adobe Illustrator and that sort of thing, it comes as like a PNG file rather than editable file. Well, then what you can do is just drag that PNG into Keynote like I showed you and move forward from there. It's really very, very simple. It's a tool that I haven't seen talked about before, but it could still be important, like I said, if you've only got the PNG of an interior and you haven't got that full paid PDF already made. And you can then make adjustments to this, so like if it's not centered and that sort of thing, you can adjust it however you like. It's really a very, very simple process, and I think this niche has some potential, so you guys may want to look at it. So that is it for this video, and well, I hope you guys enjoyed, and make sure you hit that like and subscribe button once again, as it is greatly appreciated, like I always said, and I appreciate every single one of you guys. Thank you for everything you do for me, and I will see you guys in the next one, and make sure you leave a comment down below on what you think about this logbook niche, as I love reading and replying to every single one of your comments. I will see you guys in the next one, and goodbye.